Hey all, welcome back. If you are from the programming background, hopefully you already know about this asynchronous code. That's what we are discussing in this today's session. You might be either from the JavaScript background or from any iOS like or from any mobile platform. Mostly you could be working with this asynchronous code most of the time. So asynchronous in the Flutter is very similar that what you already worked. It represents like when it comes to that asynchronous definition. Asynchronous in Flutter is very similar that you already worked. It represents an event that starts and finishes at some interval of time. A general example is when you are interacting with an API, means we start a request and we'll wait for a certain time and to finish it after getting the data. In the meantime, our code should not block until the request complete. Asynchronous code is nothing but it should not be blocking. Whatever be the request we made it should not block the rest of the code. So to handle asynchronous code in Flutter, we're going to use a combination of await keyword and something called future. So let's see a small example of an asynchronous code here. Okay. The first thing, before to write this asynchronous code, let me create a small function here. So let me create a get data. Get So the first thing, creating this, I'll use a future dot delayed. So this future dot delayed having it two arguments. The first one is a duration, so how much duration you want to hold this. So inside the duration we have to pass the seconds. So let me give some 5 seconds over here. I think 5 seconds will be really more. So I'm just giving it 3 seconds over here and a function, and as well as a one function. This simulates a function. So inside this, and after this just close this. Inside this, let me print something over here. So means we are running the process 1. So let me write process 1. Okay, let me call this. So get data. So I called here. Okay, that's we are done. Let me open a console over here, debug console over here, and if I go back and come here, you can see it was loaded, and after 3 seconds you can see the process 1 was displayed here. So it's a general thing. So here nothing was there, and we have created a small function in that we just passed a future which is holding this particular line for 3 seconds of time. Okay, this is general thing. And let me create one more. Okay, here I'll write a process 2 and I reduce the time to 2 seconds. Again I'll go back and I'll come to the screen. You can see now, you see the process 2 was initiated first, and after that process 1. Why? Because this is giving 3 seconds of time and this was given 2 seconds of. It means this function has not been this function has not wait until this completes. So in these cases our asynchronous function will comes into a picture. So further, how we can write it, we can call something called asynchronous with the await keyword here. So when we write this, so what this will happen, so this will hold for 3 seconds of time and next it will execute this. But if you observe this, the rest of the code will not block. Only in this particular function, this will hold this particular await function over here. Once this is done, then only process 2 will execute. We'll see how this will runs. Go back here, and again if we come here, so now we have process 1 to be executed first, and after that process 2 executed. This is how we are doing a this is how we are doing an asynchronous function here. So the one best thing about this asynchronous function is it will not block any of the rest of the code. So this is how the asynchronous works. This is a very small example where I showed you how we can work with the asynchronous kind of code. And again, one more thing here, example. See now, if you write something like this, example execution. So we'll write something called execution done. So now we'll see what will happen in this case. So we come here, and again if we go here, and if you see process 1 will execute first, and immediately you see the execution done is happening here, and after that process 2 is executing, because we have not written any await function over here. That's the reason once we are done with this, automatically this will executing this, and after that time second delay, the process 2 is executed. Again, to do this, again if we write an await function like await before process 2, now we'll see what will happen. We'll go back, again we'll come here, we see, so the process 1 will execute it first, next process to execute, and after that execution. This is how we can create a delay if the process 2 is having some dependencies with the process 1. In that manner, we will create a asynchronous function using await keyword, and this is how we can handle the asynchronous state.